My name is Howard Houchen. I am from Hugo, Choctaw County, Oklahoma, America. Very southeast corner of our wonderful state of Oklahoma, eastern Oklahoma, what I like to call the finest piece of terra firma on God's green earth. And I see a lot of familiar faces, and we see a lot of new faces too. And I just want to first, thank everyone for coming out and participating in this, because it's the citizens like myself and like you that actually have the ultimate and final say in what our federal government is supposed to be able to do. I'm going to be real quick. I'm not going to give a lot of my background, but I am the product of multiple school systems here in the United States and abroad. I spent a great deal of my time overseas in many third world countries. And I have seen and experienced and witnessed a lot of this, and there's no smooth way of putting this. It's simply tyrannical type government systems throughout the world, where the citizens are, quite frankly, afraid of their government system. And that is the stage that we're approaching here in the United States. And that is not to be. Yesterday, I think it was yesterday's paper that Senator Coburn was speaking of an amendment that he had put to a bill that was supposed to allow transparency for citizens like you and I to view amendments and bills at least 72 hours in advance before them being voted on, and that amendment was taken off the bill. That's the people's business, and these representatives and these senators are there doing our business, yet they don't want us to partake in that. How you doing? The last time that I was in Adair County, which was about a month ago, I had a gentleman, and he's not here. He asked me a question, and that was one of the few times that I could not answer it right off the bat. And the question was, do you really want to be a representative? And I thought of that, and the way I took the term want was, is this something that you seek, that you desire for some type of personal gain or something? That's the way that I took that. So the English language is kind of a fallible language at times. But I couldn't answer that question, and I had to think about it for a little while. And I got back with him just in a few minutes, and I said, no. I said, I feel compelled to run for this office, to be the representative of the citizens of Oklahoma District 2. Because I know that my line in the sand of what I would accept from government and its intrusions into our personal lives, our personal property, and business, it was crossed many years ago. And with this current administration, that line has been trampled on, crossed, and completely destroyed. So I felt compelled, for love of country, for love of eastern Oklahoma, to take on this task. And everyone that I speak with, so who you running against? I'm Dan Boren. We have these guys here too, but the ultimate prize is Dan Boren. That's the prize. That's the trophy buck. And every one of them respond with, oh, it's a steep hill to climb. That's a tough row to hoe. Yeah, I don't think you can do it. We can do it. I guarantee you we can do it. And how we're going to do it is people like you sitting here right now listening to one of us, and you're going to make up your mind, and I'm going to ask you at the end of this to do something. But we can no longer stand by and allow Dan Boren, who sounds so conservative and sounds like he backs the principles and values of us here in eastern Oklahoma, when he comes back here, which is so rarely, he sounds like he is the next coming of Reagan or something, but his actions do not match his rhetoric. We beat him on issues every day of the week. There's no problem with that. But we have to have the ability to get that message out there and get that truth out there. Dan Boren is simply an enabler of this central planning collectivist system that we have being shoved down our throats right now. Yes, he will not vote for the health care bill, but he voted to absolve Rangel the other day on the House Ways and Means Committee Rangel turned around within 24 hours and enabled the nuclear option on this health care bill. It's votes like that that matter from Dan Boren. He backs Pelosi 91% of the time and backed the Obama administration in their first 6 months 81% of the time. That is not representing the citizens and their values and their beliefs in District 2. There's no way that we can allow that to stand. We have to get back. One thing you'll never hear Dan Boren talking about is constitutional authority, constitutional adherence. And you'll hear a lot of people talk about adhering to the United States Constitution. And it's easy to talk about it. And it's easy to say that we're only going to use what is termed as constitutional authority to decide whether we vote on bills yea or nay. Well, the fact is, and this is a hard, cold reality fact here, is we're going to have to vote on some items that are unconstitutional because we cannot yank the rug out from under this system that we currently have. We have to devolve this system. We have to deconstruct this behemoth, this blind, deaf behemoth of federal government. It's blind because it refuses to see what it's doing that's unconstitutional. It's intellectual deceit is what it's actually doing. And it's deaf because it says that it can't hear us, the majority of the people, complaining that you aren't listening to us. But we have to deconstruct this. But what we have to do is go about never, ever, ever, and I can guarantee you, and there's very few times I'll guarantee anything, but I will never vote on a bill that increases the scope or the range of the federal government. It has gotten way too large, way too intrusive into every one of our lives, my lives, your lives, everybody's lives. But we have to work in a very systematic way, very controlled way, to deconstruct and devolve this current system of broken governance that we have. I'm going to try to get into this platform real quick. My platform, I call it Great Needs, and I use the acronym backwards. It's in national security, economic security, energy security, domestic security, and social security.